Welcome to our first ever Ask Me Anything on Instagram marketing. I have Karan here with me. He's the founder of OrangeTwig.
Hi guys.
I'm Neha and I handle content and marketing at OrangeTwig, and together we will answer questions that have been posted on our Facebook group. That's the Seller Success group on Facebook, and some of you have mailed us these questions as well. But before we start off with the questions, Karan is going to give us a short introduction on OrangeTwig.
So OrangeTwig is a social media marketing app. We focus exclusively on small sellers and e-commerce. So if you are selling on Etsy, or if you've set up your shop using Shopify or WooCommerce or Ecwid, or very soon would be supporting BigCommerce and Magento as well, we help you create beautiful content without any design skills, and then we help you schedule them across social media channels to Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram. So if you've used Hootsuite or Buffer or Canva, any of these tools, or Datagram to post to Instagram, you won't need any of them. With OrangeTwig, it's a one-stop solution to all your social media marketing needs. And because we're very e-commerce focused, so we understand products, we understand sales. It's a very, very e-commerce focused social media marketing solution.
We are your marketing department, pretty much.
Pretty much, yes. We specialize and cater to people who don't have an in-house marketing department, who don't have a huge budget to market their store, and who also don't have too many technical skills.
All right. So now let's get started with your questions, all right? And the first one that was sent to us is Instagram suitable for my business?
So, the answer depends a lot on what you sell and what your objectives are. What are you looking to get out of Instagram? So the very first question that you have to ask yourself, and by the way, this is true for all social networks, not just Instagram. True. Where's your audience? On what platform, network, channel, social media channel are your potential buyers hanging out? If the answer is Instagram, definitely, right away, it's a very good channel for you to consider. There are other considerations for Instagram. Not every product is suitable for Instagram. It's a very visual medium. People spend a lot of time creating beautiful posts to share on Instagram. So if you sell stuff like jewelry, clothing, accessories, fashion, photography, art, health and fitness gear, baby stuff, I think Instagram will be a great channel for you. However, if you sell something not so exciting and very routine, like USB cables or dental hygiene products, then it's a little bit tougher to kind of focus on Instagram and try and drive sales from there. It's doable, but it's just a lot more work. You'll have to think a lot more about what you're going to share. Will that be interesting for your audience or not?
I think in those situations, you have to go a little beyond your product. You have to figure out where the product can tell a story, because ultimately Instagram, like Karan said, is a very, very visual medium. It has to be aesthetically pleasing, because that's how people are going to latch on to your account, right? So for example, if you're selling light bulbs, probably you're not going to do like one post a day just only on a filament or a light bulb. But imagine a light bulb lighting a beautiful room. That's a post right there for you, right?
Absolutely. I think, so in your example, if you are selling light bulbs online, what you should focus on is beautiful examples of lighting, not necessarily bulbs themselves.
Yeah.
So that's the way to go with Instagram. The other consideration quite often is, what are your objectives? Are you immediately looking to drive sales? And that's something that's probably a little bit more important for smaller brands,
right,
or businesses than for a big brand. But if you're a big brand and you have a marketing department and you've got the budget, then definitely, Instagram's a great place for you to build your brand. Even companies like FedEx that do things like shipping, something so routine, so mundane, they have a very active and vibrant Instagram account. But to take another example, if you look at Airbnb, now that brand lends itself to Instagram because of all the beautiful locations that you can rent on on Airbnb, and showcase them on Instagram.
Right. Our next question is about hashtags and how important they are for Instagram marketing. Hashtags are actually keywords / key phrases or tags that you associate with your business. And on Instagram, more than on any other channel, using the right hashtags is extremely important because hashtags become your search term for posts. So for example, if I am a jewelry designer, on Instagram, and I'm just wondering what are the kind of tags that I should be using. Well, definitely something in the line of hashtag jewelry, hashtag sterling silver, if that's the kind of jewelry I do, hashtag jewelry maker, and so on. Now, these are purely and very specific to my business. In this mix, I need to throw in hashtags that are probably being used by my target customer because I want to figure out in their search feed as well.
You gotta put yourself in their shoes.
Yes.
I mean, if they bought a nice pair of earrings from you, what could be the potential hashtag that they may be using?
Something like hashtag bobbles, maybe.
Blink.
Definitely. Hashtag wrist game, hashtag jewelry junkie, so many. But
hit up Neha, she's got some good ideas. If you need some suggestions, I'd say 2 things. Try our hashtag tool or just write to Neha.
Yes. So now moving on, how do we go about finding the right hashtags, or how do you go about finding the right hashtags for your business? Right hashtags, quite frankly, should be all about the content you post on Instagram. The more relevant they are to the post that you have just put out on your feed, the better the engagement you will see. So begin with what according to you should go along with the post, and Instagram will instantly tell you whether the hashtag is in use, whether it exists, and how many times has it been used already. I want to make a quick note here about high density hashtags and low density hashtags. Well, high density hashtags are the ones that are being used by a lot of people. And it's both a good and a bad thing.
Yep.
You use a high density hashtag, and why is it good? Well, because it increases the chances of you being discovered by a lot of people, right? And how is it bad? Well, it's bad because there's a lot of competition for that hashtag. A lot of people are using that hashtag. So your post is going to go lower and lower and lower on that search page.
Very quickly.
Yes.
Some active hashtags, I think your post would probably be the latest post for less than a second. And 5 minutes later, it's just gone far down.
I know, and you're putting in a lot of effort to, put together a post for your account. You want to see some results. Bring in low density hashtags in when you're posting, right? What are low density hashtags? Now, low density hashtags would be anywhere around 100,000 to about 1 million.
Yep.
Right? So about 100,000 to 1 million people are using this hashtag. And that's a good pool of content that you want to figure in. So when you're putting out a post, that's high density hashtag right there, low density hashtags right here. Okay? So that's the kind of mix you want.
Yeah, and the other thing is that you could vary your hashtags with every post. Eventually it's more of an art and less of a science.
Right.
Yeah, so what you have to do is, just try with lots and lots of hashtags. We would recommend that you should shortlist, anywhere between 40, 50 to even 100 hashtags for your business, and then organize them into multiple lists and play with them. Maybe in one post put maybe like 5. So the maximum hashtags that you can use with any post is 30 on Instagram, right? So we'd recommend not using more than 4 or 5 high volume, high density hashtags, and spread the other 25, a mix between low to medium volume hashtags, and then vary them with your next post. Just don't stick to the same set of hashtags. You've got to constantly change them, because with every change you're reaching a new set of people, right? So
now the next step in the process of doing your hashtags is how do you find them. The easiest is to use our Instagram hashtag research tool. to find trending and related hashtags and the frequency with which they are being used at that very moment. And that's very, very crucial, right, on Instagram. The tool is pretty cool, and as we move ahead,
the tool is cool.
And as we move ahead, we will touch upon certain things that will, let you know how to use the tool to grow your business on Instagram. The next question is, how can I increase real followers? And that's $1 million question on Instagram right now.
It is. Some of you already know this, but right now what's happening is that Instagram is in this battle with bots. And bots are these programs that do automated actions on behalf of other users. One thing that these bots do is they'll come and follow your account, and 3 days later they'll unfollow you. Right. So whereas you're thinking, hey, I'm doing something right, I've got a new follower, 3 days later that person's gone. And they are doing this hoping that you'd follow them back. And then at some point they'll anyway unfollow you. And these are not real people, and these will never buy anything from you. They will never engage with your content. So that's why you want to avoid them. You want to focus all your energy creating content for real followers. So to grow your following on Instagram, you got to take care of 2 things. It all starts with great content. Instagram is a content network. People focus a lot of time and energy to create beautiful, compelling, visually pleasing content. And we'll give you some tips. This is something, by the way, that OrangeTwig does. It automates a content creation. We've got a design tool that'll really make it very, very easy for you to create content from scratch, or you can just start with one of our templates and just change it. So one way of making your content stand out is by mixing content. Combine photos with videos, with collages, or any other form of content that you can think of.
Or boomerang.
A boomerang, yes. Boomerangs is this video making app from Instagram. It makes this short 3 or 4 second videos that are highly compelling. So it's a lot of fun. Download it and play with it and see how you like it. And
you could do a little product showcase with Boomerang. You could show your customers what goes on behind the scenes at your workshop with Boomerang. And these, like Karan said, these are extremely short videos, but you get better reach with, say, Boomerang or videos along with the other posts.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, the idea is to mix it up.
Yeah.
So you're not doing just one type of content. But a few other tips to help you along the way. Pay attention to the captions. Whereas like 90% of the deal is photographs, but if your captions are compelling, if you're telling a story along with that photograph, it's just more interesting for the viewers.
Right.
So try and tell a story. Write detailed captions. Talk more about your business. Showcase your personality. Use that to kind of engage people. And again, try and tell a story with every piece of content that you generate. You could showcase something that inspired you to make a product. Maybe it's just beautiful colors of the sea, turquoise, and that inspired you to make something in turquoise color. You could take photographs of your products while you're making them. Right. So it's kind of like the lifeline, the journey of the product being made.
Like a coming soon kind of post.
Absolutely, that this is work in progress. You could showcase your workplace, behind the scenes photos. These are all good ideas. But we've just posted a blog post in the comments. That's 47 content ideas. Take a look at it. It's just a lot of good suggestions on how to create quality content, and that too very easily. Eventually, the quality of content will dictate the kind of engagement that you're going to get, and that will dictate the kind of followers or the speed at which you will grow your followers.
Right.
So to take a step back, when you're planning your Instagram content strategy, the question that you have to ask yourself before posting everything is, if somebody comes and visits you on your Instagram profile, is it compelling enough for them to like you, to follow you?
Definitely.
And want to get more updates from you? If I come visit your profile and I find nothing interesting, it's highly unlikely that I'll follow you. So eventually, keep that question at the back of your mind when you're deciding the type of content you want to create for Instagram. Will it be compelling enough for my followers?
Would I like to follow myself? I think that's something.
I think you would. But at the same time, would your customers? So, and by the way, your content doesn't have to appeal to everybody. You can customize and tailor your content for your potential customers.
Right.
They have to find it interesting.
Right.
So, you've got interesting content. And if somebody comes to your page, they're highly likely to follow you, but how would they know about you in the first place? So that's called the discoverability problem.
Yeah.
How will I find out that you exist and this is your Instagram handle and I should come check it out, right? So that's the other part of this problem. I think that's something that you have to plan and put in a lot of effort to make it happen. It starts with your communication. Every email you sent out, every order confirmation, shipping notification, include your social media profiles. That's an easy way for your actual buyers to discover your Instagram handle. Your website should definitely figure it prominently. If I'm on your webpage, and I'm an Instagram user, every time I go to a website, I do check out Instagram because I'm an Instagram user myself.
Right.
So that's another.
And one more small tip right there: double check all your social icons, double check them on your shop, because sometimes you click on them and they're not leading you anywhere. So that's something that you just want to double check.
Absolutely. And I have seen shops where if you click on their Instagram, it actually goes to Shopify's Instagram, because it's a Shopify template and the default link is to Shopify.
Right.
So make sure you plug in your properties correctly and definitely sell yourself. Having said that, there are the two main ways that people use to grow their following. And the first one is hashtags.
Hashtags, yes.
Yes. So Neha already covered that. But what I like to add there is that's really just your best way to get discovered on Instagram. And that's why it's critical that you're constantly updating the hashtags that you shortlisted for your business. And if you'd like to know more, just check out our blog. We've got a few posts there. In fact, I'll look for a post. If I can find something quickly, I'll share it as well. And the second way of getting found on Instagram is what's called direct engagement, wherein you would reach out to your potential customers. So let's say you sell yoga gear. It starts with the search for yoga or some other hashtag related to yoga on Instagram.
Right.
As an example, you could start with yoga moms. There are about 1.3 million posts tagged with that hashtag.
Right.
Or yoga mom. Definitely for a yoga gear seller, that'd be a great hashtag to target. But if you're going for somebody who's a little bit more serious practitioner of yoga, you could use hashtags like Ashtanga or Vinyasa.
Vinyasa, yes.
These are types of yoga, and somebody who's serious about their yoga practice would definitely know these terms and are also more likely to use them. You look at them and see if they are your potential customer,
right.
Which means that do they live in a country where you ship your product to? Do they seem like the person who might be looking for more and more yoga gear, whether it's, the yoga mats or, some stretching equipment and stuff like that? And then you comment on their post, or you like it, or you interact with them. And if you leave a meaningful comment, they're more likely to come follow and check your Instagram. And that's kind of like the etiquette on Instagram. If somebody interacts with you, you go check out their Instagram as well. And at least they're exposed to your account.
It's like making friends on Instagram. You go and say hello, right? Or you say a good word about whatever their post is. And wouldn't you feel as if, if somebody were to drop a line on my post and have a good word to say about my post, I'd be interested to know what they do and
it's
what they're up to.
Courtesy, right?
Yes.
I mean, somebody said something nice about your post, giving you a compliment. I guess it's just common courtesy to reply, right?
Yeah.
So that's how people discover your account.
And that's where you give your compelling content a shot, right? And that's where your compelling content is, and they have a reason to follow you, they have a reason to engage with you, they have a reason to go check out your shop as well.
Absolutely. And now the one thing though, it does sound very time consuming and tedious, searching for people manually and engaging with them individually, and then some of them will follow you. That's true. It is time consuming. You will have to commit to some time upfront. But having said that, one good thing, every follower that you will get from this approach will be a real follower because you're hand selecting them. So that's fantastic. Second piece of good news, OrangeTwig has a toolkit that makes this entire process very, very easy. And the best part, it's approved by Instagram. So there is no risk to your account being shut down for doing something that Instagram doesn't approve. Go check out our engagement toolkit along with our hashtag research toolkit. Right. It's really just a one-stop shop for all your Instagram growth needs. And then if you have any questions, do let us know. Would be happy to help.
Give it a shot, experiment with it, try it out, and see how it's working for you. Like Karan mentioned, you can find trending and related hashtags, the frequency with which they are being used at that very moment.
And right there you can engage.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that's extremely important. Like what we have been telling you and what we have been discussing is that it's really important to organically engage on this particular social channel. Don't do it through bots, because Instagram is cracking down on bots, and that's not something.
And it's also not the kind of account you want to build, right?
Yes.
It's not very authentic communication. And if you're doing it for a short while, it's okay, but really long term, your brand will suffer.
Right.
So the next question is, how often should I post?
So, ideal is to do one post daily or alternate days is good too. But don't go beyond 2 posts a day. You don't want to spam your followers / customers with one post after the other. In this exercise, it's very important to see how responsive your target followers are to your posts. And that will also help you figure out the frequency that you can maintain for your account.
Yep.
Definitely one thing that you should avoid is a long gap between 2 posts. So don't do a post a week and then come back after 10 days and do another post, because then that's when you will see a drop in your engagement. And you always want to keep it on the up and up on Instagram.
Yeah.
Experiment with hashtags and different types of content. And once you have a hold of what exactly is working for you, for your brand, keep developing it, because that is something that is engaging your followers, right? And one thing that I would like to point out here is that in case you're thinking of, say, doing a theme or working a theme into your account, do that by all means. Develop that with a bank of images, because you want to maintain the frequency of posting and still have those images with you, right? So that you don't, again, blank out or, come back after a long gap. Like I said, consistency is everything. You want to keep engaging with your customers and followers. Try different hashtags with your content and bring in more.
And there are lots of apps. You could try Vasco. There are a bunch of apps that will help you create graphic content, beautiful imagery. So try, experiment, I guess.
Right.
And the other thing about Instagram is it's not something that you want to do impromptu. You have to think and plan ahead. So every time you start posting, you want to have at least a buffer of a week or two's worth of content ready. So you get busy someday, at least you've got some backup posts ready that you can just share. It's very important to experiment and try different things on Instagram. And very soon you'll get a hang of it. You'll know what's working, what's not working.
So how do I convert my Instagram followers into buyers?
So I think eventually, as a small seller, as an e-commerce seller, that is really your end game, your target. What you want to do is more sales, right? For that specific issue, Instagram can be challenging at times. Let me explain why. So one limitation that Instagram has is that if you share a link in the caption for any post, if you do the same thing on Facebook, you post an image and you share a link, here's my shop link, please come check us out, buy this product. You can click on it and go to that link. Well, not on Instagram, unfortunately. They give you only one clickable link in your entire profile, and that's in your bio. So when you set up your account, there's a place where you can put a link. Typically, people end up either putting their shop link there, or they're changing that link every time they post new content. Maybe you posted with blog post link, and then tell your buyers or your followers to click on the link in bio to read your latest post. There is one way to get around it, and that's what every major brand or company in the world uses. This includes Macy's, Nordstrom, Victoria's Secret. Almost every big brand uses this technique called clickable posts. So what it is that in your bio, that one clickable link that you are getting, you replace it with this link. And if you click on this link, you'd get a duplicate of your feed. And here, now every post in this duplicate is clickable.
Right. So if you're posting products and, say after your products, you've posted a blog, you've posted an article, guess what? On this particular page, every post is clickable. So all you have to make sure is that you include a link in the caption, right? And when your customers or followers reach this particular page and they click on a particular post, they'll be redirected to the right content. They'll be redirected to the product, or they'll be redirected to the blog. And that is so much easier and simpler, even from the point of view of a customer, right? I don't want to go on a store and
it's a bigger issue on mobile because Instagram is primarily a mobile app. You know, their web presence is kind of small. So to really just get to a link, you have to first cut and paste on a mobile device, then go to a browser, paste that URL, then look for the product. It's just
too much work.
It's just too much work. Yeah, exactly. So what you want to do is tell your users to go click on the link in bio, and from there they can click on any post that you've shared.
Right.
If that post has a link, it'll take them to that destination.
This is something that all the big brands are doing, right?
Yes, and this is something that OrangeTwig also enables for you. Or you can go to the dashboard, get your link, put it in your bio, and Instagram's immediately clickable. There is one difference though between the big brands and what we do. They pay a lot of money to achieve this. We bundle it in our existing toolkit. You have to pay nothing extra if you're using OrangeTwig services. So that makes it very, very easy for your buyers or your followers on Instagram to click on a link and become your buyers.
Alright.
So if there are any other questions, please let us know. Shoot us your questions via email. Please join our Seller Success group. We're going to leave the link of the Seller Success group in the comments itself. Anybody interested in e-commerce and social media marketing for their e-commerce store is welcome to join. Let's have a discussion there. We're happy to contribute our point of view. We'd love to know what works for you.